Leon Panetta said go, and Bob Gates, who's already publicly said this, said don't go. So as we walked out of the room and walked upstairs, I told him my opinion, that I thought he should go, but to follow his own instincts.
Vice President Joe Biden earlier today explaining the events leading up to the bin Laden raid. He told an audience at George Washington University that he waited until he was alone with President Obama to tell the president to go forward with that raid. But Mr. Biden's account today contradicts what he told the New York Times back in 2012. Then the vice president said that he strongly warned against the operation. Kind of curious. A topic for our political panel. First, we welcome in a columnist for the Fiscal Times, joining us via Skype from New York City, Liz Peek. And joining us from Washington, D.C., David Goodfriend, former Deputy Staff Secretary to President Bill Clinton. Joe Biden and this case of historical amnesia. Could that haunt him, Liz, if he gets in this race against Hillary Clinton?
Well, I think he'll be able to parse his words, both the most recent ones and the former ones, and basically said, yes, I was all for it, as long as he confirmed. It sounds like what is disputed is how much confirmation or further confirmation Biden pushed for in terms of knowing whether Osama bin Laden really was in that hideout. But, we'll never know what conversation took place in the Oval Office. And, of course, in a subtle way, that's an advantage for Joe Biden. He can always kind of fall back on the idea that he has spent an enormous amount of time privately with President Obama. This little controversy, if it is indeed such, kind of reminds us of the fact that he had the president's ear, which, if he chooses to run against Hillary Clinton, is obviously a big difference, because a lot of people think that Obama and Hillary are not the best of pals.
Fair enough. David Goodfriend, there is something else out here. Dick Morris, earlier in the broadcast, said that Biden is going to get in this thing because he knows or he thinks Hillary may be in more trouble with her emails and Benghazi and all of the things unfolding. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't trust Dick Morris as far as I could throw him when it comes to anything related to the Clintons. He's had a
he successfully advised him in 1996. He helped Bill get reelected in 96. So they don't owe him anything. Of course not. Sure.
Yeah, so he had a falling out with them, and he seems determined to badmouth them at every turn. Now, I will say this: if there is continued controversy that goes against Hillary Clinton surrounding her emails, then obviously that's an opportunity for Joe Biden. But
okay. So Dick Morris is discredited but accurate with this. Interesting, David.
No, look, I said again, I appreciate the idea. I don't like the source.
Fair enough,
trust the source.
But you're giving it some merit.
I'll say this about Joe Biden.
Okay.
If you want to be president, you got to make decisions. And I think the longer he waits, the more ridiculous he looks. He
ain't going to wait much longer from what we hear, but we appreciate the warning, David. Liz, back to you. If Biden does get in here, how do you think he fares with women and with African-American voters? Right now, they're the base for Hillary.
They are the base for Hillary, though we have seen in polling that actually Democrat women are not very keen on Hillary right now. So I don't think that group is necessarily granite, to use a new Democrat standard.
Granite, okay.
I think there's opportunity there.
Well, let's go to the guy who knows the Democrat electorate pretty well. 30 seconds to you, David Goodfriend, for the last word.
The poll numbers on the Republican side show that no candidate has more than 35% at any given time. If you take that metric and apply it to the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton still has a commanding lead that would be difficult for Joe Biden to eat into unless he was able to consolidate Bernie Sanders voters. So I think he's got to thread a very difficult needle between left and right, left and center, and I think he's got to make this decision soon or he takes away his own credibility.
Dave and Liz, our thanks to you both. Now, you heard their perspective on what's brewing between Biden and Hillary. We'd love to get your perspective. Send it to me, newsmaxtv.com/comments. Up next, Craig Shirley. Is the new book, Killing Reagan, from Bill O'Reilly, killing factual history? We'll talk about it as Newsmax Prime continues.